All right, this one's funny. Process progress. Welcome to day 1001 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here at your service, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world to the online world. Spent over a quarter century in corporate America, working for some of the absolutely coolest companies on the planet, some of the biggest companies in the world, as well as some really big family-owned corporations, as well as having my own businesses on the side. For the majority of my career, I think my first job, I was maybe into my first year of my first job out of college. Might have been 2 years in. I don't remember. It's been so long ago that I got involved. I think it was just my first year where I got and always had a business on the side. And when I was going to college, I always had a business too and was doing things. So from the time I was 13 on, I was running and doing and creating different businesses. I guess that would make me an entrepreneur. I think anybody that's done over 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 things is probably an entrepreneur at heart. So did the corporate thing, did the businesses in different industries thing, and as part of my divorce, figured out, hey, I'm old, so I don't really want to do some of the things I've already done. What do I want to do that's different? But I'm too young to like throw in the towel and not do anything. So I decided, I'd always been curious since the internet began about it. And I, in the beginning, everybody thought it was kind of going to be a fad, and would it really stick around? Of course. It's kind of funny and ludicrous to laugh about that now, especially the generations of kids and the children now that are, and the people, the young people now in their 20s that grew up their entire life. They had all of this amazing technology at their fingertips, and it's been growing and expanding as quickly as they have been. So today I call this one progress through processes, or progress processes, because one of our basic human needs, I was talking about this in the Get Up and Go Challenge, day 25 today. We were talking about the P in SOAP, which stands for progress, right? SOAP is a framework that we use whenever we're dealing with a challenge or change or a situation that we want to make sure we're better off after than before we experienced it. Guess what? We're experiencing things all the time. The good, the bad, the ugly, the incredible, the miraculous. And how we experience that is up to us, but we can actually install this SOAP framework. It's not what I just started calling it SOAP framework during COVID-19 because it seemed so fitting, and it covers the 4-step process that we need to make automatic in order to guarantee that we will have better results after any change or challenge than before we experienced that. So let's talk about the progress part. And with progress, we've talked about the lifeline exercise. We've talked about measurement, the importance of measurement. And I'm like, okay, well, we all have a process and a system that we use to do everything. But sometimes that's not an optimum process. Sometimes the process is broken. It gives us a result, but it doesn't give us the best result for us. So I wrote a book on this in corporate America. So I could probably talk for an entire day session on process writing, process analysis, process improvement, but I had, under 10 minutes or 10 minutes. It was actually 10 minutes and 2 seconds. So I might chop some of it out so I can actually make it under 10 minutes today, because that was my original objective. Was I wanted to keep the 30-day challenge, each day's lesson and assignment and action item, lesson, action item and tool, because I wanted to share a tool every day, under 10 minutes. Well, I think yesterday's was over 17, and I made the mistake of adding 3 tools instead of 1. So today I pushed myself back and I said, all you're going to talk about is processes. So how do we take a process and install it and put it into our life so that it becomes an automatic thing that we do, that we know will continuously move us toward what we want. So that was our topic today. And it's so much easier to do than we actually make it. We try to make it so difficult and so complicated. I don't know, human beings, we like to complicate the living daylights out of everything. Maybe you don't, but I tend to. You can see, I can't have one duck. I have to have like 20 some ducks around me. I can't have one picture or sign. I have to have a whole passel of them, and I have to make it even worse by picking a filter that makes 5 big ones of me with, I guess it's only 4 or 5 of me in different aspects. So we tend to overcomplicate things. So probably for the last couple of years, and maybe it's just the last year, my whole drive, my personal drive and purpose has been to actually simplify, downsize, simplify, keep it simple, keep it to what really works and what's really important, because of all the things that we do, there's only a few that are actually critical and really important to us. And it's, again, it's a little different for each of us, but we want to be focusing our time and energy and effort on those few things that make the biggest difference in our life. It's the 80-20 principle. Anybody ever heard of that? I learned that in college and have used it my entire life. People have made fortunes on the 80-20 principle. Think Perry Marshall. He's made absolute fortune on teaching people the 80-20 principle and then expanding upon that. So, really interesting, fun day for me in the Get Up and Go Challenge, because I am all about processes and systems and habits and rituals and routines that can make life easier, I'm all about personal efficiency and effectiveness, right? How can I do this faster, easier, with less work or less effort? My whole core of my being has been focused on those type of things ever since I was a little girl. So that was the Get Up and Go Challenge Day. Fun challenge today was about birds, and I obviously like birds because I am surrounded by birds. I even have pink flamingos and roosters at my fingertips sometimes as props for other videos, right? I don't even remember when the pink flamingo was from. Rooster was like about a week ago. And I pile them all up. I pile all the stuff up by my work area, and then, I don't know, every once in a while it'll start to fall on the floor, and then I'll put it all away. But my granddaughter's coming today, so I want to have it out. I want to have the fun stuff out. So birds, you're just supposed to draw or share or describe a pretty bird that you see or saw today, which is easy for me because we have so many birds in this area, in this new neighborhood. We have cardinals, red-headed woodpeckers, blue jays, finches, robins, little yellow birds, little tweety birds, hummingbirds. We've even seen some hummingbirds. Not this time of year. We've already gotten snow. So a lot of them are, gone south, like the ducks and the geese. But we still have plenty of birds all year long, even in the frigid world of Wisconsin in the winter. So that was the fun challenge. So Get Up and Go Challenge, day 25. Fun challenge, day 291, actually. The Supersize Your Business Challenge, actually, since I started counting, day 601, which is really interesting because, I'm going to show you this. This is very funny. Obviously, I use tools to help me create content. And when I was moving, I decided, okay, I'm getting ready to move. I'm downsizing. I'm doing all this work. I'm super duper busy with business topics and just plain life things. So what am I going to do to continue to provide content and meaning and some information to my Supersize Your Business clients and customers? Well, I stumbled upon this very ragtag looking book now, but it was brand new, had never been opened. I must have gotten it for the kids when they were in junior high. It's called Scholastic Dictionary of Idioms. So that means it's written for about junior high level, which is perfect for business content, right? At least it's perfect for me, because I was surprised how many of these idioms I had never heard, and I had no idea what a lot of them meant. Now, I thought I was done with the book because it says 600, but today was day 601. I didn't start counting at the beginning, and I have at least 30 idioms left in the book. I used Kleenex to mark because I have so many Post-it notes in here, they wouldn't have stood out. And I didn't feel like going and finding my little colored flags because they're little too, which would probably be better than the Kleenex. But then I can use the Kleenex when I pull them out of the book. So really interesting that today was on someone's case. And I find this idiom super interesting because I was researching it and Googling and looking online, and I couldn't find anything that talks about the origin of the idiom on someone's case. It, of course, means to criticize or to pick on or to judge or disapprove of somebody's either behavior or circumstances. And we're seeing a lot of that in the world right now, right? A lot of people disapproving of other people's opinions, circumstances, and all kinds of things. In, political years, every 4 years, it seems to get really, really ugly in the United States. And it probably does in most countries where there's like free elections. But I have never seen anything as ridiculous as this particular political season. It's like one side, aka Democrats, are accusing the Republicans of all the things that they are actually doing and perpetrating. And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent, but I step back and I watch all of what's going on. I do not watch the news. It is so prejudiced and so ridiculous and so one-sided, the vast majority of it, that I don't want other people thinking for me. I don't want other people telling me what to think or influencing my observations. And if you watch the media? That happens. I gave up the media in 1980. I want to say 1986. It's been a really long time. I was at a training for Procter & Gamble, and it was called Louis Tice training. I don't even know if Louis Tice training exists anymore, but it was an incredible week-long personal development course that we all at Procter & Gamble wanted to go to. It was one that you heard a lot about. You look forward to really participating and going to this. And one of the things they taught us on the first day was turn off your TV. Turn off your television set for this week and see what happens. I turned my TV off for that week, and I never really turned it on again. Now I had been a journalism student. I had loved journalism, and at that time, it was just starting to be ridiculous. And now I don't know how anyone could call journalism journalism. You have to look long and hard to find true investigative reporting. And I mean, reporting that is who, what, where, when, why, and how. It's the facts of the who, what, where, when, why, and how, without any editorializing, any opinion, any prejudice. It's not the propaganda that's being regurgitated by all the media right now. Then, you know, when you're finding your top news stories, what somebody said on Twitter or on Facebook or on a social media platform, I find that the highest form of pathetic, right? That's just my opinion. I guess I'm on the media's case because they're not being held accountable. They're not being responsible. They're actually propaganda manipulating devices at their very worst. I mean, I feel like we're in Nazi Germany, and not because of either political party, because of the way the media is handling and filtering everything. And then to be locked down and at home, where people have a lot of people that are out of work aren't turning off their televisions. They're just being brainwashed all day long. It's just ridiculous and pathetic that this could happen, and that we're letting it happen in the United States of America. There we go. That is totally my opinion on it. All right. So, supersize your business. The reason I started doing it was, number one, I wanted to learn what things mean, and I wanted to be able to provide value. And it's actually helped me to grow and learn and see and continually improve my vocabulary, my understanding of things. When an expression has been around for thousands of years or 600 years, it is bound to have impacted me or somebody in my circle, somebody I know, love, or care about, somebody that I interact with on a regular basis. I might not have ever heard of that expression, but they might have absolutely lived that particular idiom or expression. Now, I find it fascinating that on someone's case, I can't find any information about. Why is that? Why is there no historical information about when this first appeared? A lot of idioms I can just Google, and I can say, what's the origin of whatever the idiom is? I don't know, I've got hundreds, no dice or something. And it will give me the history of when that was actually first used in writing or in meaning, and when it was used in writing, and then when it actually had that meaning. And there is nothing about on someone's case in there. And I find that extremely fascinating and very revealing in a lot of areas, not areas that are good, in my opinion. I think that we need to step back, think for ourselves, and really pay attention to what's going on. Take off our filters of, I grew up a Democrat, I grew up a Republican, I'm in the union, this is what I have to believe. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, this is what I have to believe. We have to step away from that and see what's really going on, not what people are saying is going on, because they sure don't match in a lot of areas. Watching some documentaries with my daughter and really getting my eyes open in terms of how things come to be, how they actually came to be versus what they are now. And this particular one's in the area of vaccines, which is absolutely fascinating. It's not an anti-vaccine documentary, it's a series, but it is definitely a, hey, you need to pay attention to this and open your eyes and see what's going on. And here's this founded in science stuff that is being spewed out in the media and by several politicians. It is the biggest crock of manipulated misinformation and lies that we have ever been fed. Well, maybe not the biggest, but it's right up there at the top of the heap. All right, today, granddaughter's coming over, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm not promising myself I'm going to do anything but my content for tomorrow, today, and probably get outdoors, whether it's nice or not, because I would love to get outdoors with her. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up, ask in the questions below or the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with day 1002 of documenting my journey from the offline to the online world.